All right, let's talk about something that gets so many of us twisted up in the dating world. It's that constant question in the back of your mind. Am I being too picky, or am I just, protecting my peace? Today we are diving into deal breakers, because learning how to spot them and trust them is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. I mean, this is the question, right? You get told your whole life, don't be too picky, give them a chance. But what if that thing that feels picky is actually your intuition screaming at you? Let's figure out the difference. So let's get right into it. What is a deal breaker, really? And I'll give you a hint. It's not some superficial checklist about their height or their job. It goes so much deeper than that. And this, right here, this is what it's all about. Think of a deal breaker less like a weapon you use to judge people and more like a shield. It's a boundary you put up to protect your own well-being, your peace, and your future happiness. It's basically an act of self-love. Okay, so where do these boundaries even come from? Well, they're built on the bedrock of your core values. These are the things that are deep down at the root of who you are. And if your roots and a potential partner's roots don't get along, that relationship is just never going to be stable. Okay, take a look at this. This is such a powerful contrast. On one side, you have this idea of a wife being a helpmate, which is a belief often rooted in certain religious interpretations. And on the other, you have a vision of a partnership that's all about balance. We pick each other up. Now, neither one is right or wrong, but they are fundamentally different blueprints for how a relationship should work. Trying to build a life together with two completely different sets of plans, well, that's just not going to work out. And these core values can be super diverse, right? For one person, it might be about having a very specific personal relationship with God. For someone else, it's a belief about what marriage means, that you become one unit. And hey, for another person, it could be a complete disinterest in things like astrology. The point isn't what the belief is, it's that it's deeply held and personal. And that makes it a totally valid deal breaker. All right, so we've talked about the why, the big, deep stuff. But now let's get into the how. It's not just about what you believe, it's about whether your day-to-day lives can actually fit together. This is where we get into the real nitty-gritty of lifestyle and logistics. This quote, it's a perfect example. This entrepreneur is 100% clear on her priorities. Her business comes first. And you know what? That is completely okay. But a partner who needs a lot of quality time, that's going to create a major clash. Her ambition is incredible, but it requires a partner whose lifestyle can actually match that. And that really leads to this huge question, one you should always be asking yourself. Is the effort here equal, or is one person doing all the heavy lifting? And check this out. Talk about an imbalance in action. Here we have a long-distance situation where the man straight up tells the woman she'll have to do most of the traveling. He's not even pretending to meet her halfway. For her, that could be an instant deal breaker because what does it signal? It's a huge red flag that she's going to be the one making all the sacrifices down the line. And hey, sometimes a deal breaker can be as simple as someone's job. This man just couldn't deal with the idea of his partner being a bartender and getting attention from other guys. And yeah, that probably comes from his own insecurity. But for him, it's still a deal breaker because he knows it's a situation that would make him unhappy. Okay, let's talk about the one thing that runs through all of this: communication and respect. Because let me tell you, how someone's words make you feel, that can be the biggest deal breaker of all. Okay, here is a really common one that comes up a lot. This woman has a very clear boundary. She doesn't like being called a female. And for her, it's not just a word. It's about respect. And her reason why is so important. She feels it's dehumanizing. This isn't her being overly sensitive. It's about her actual experience of that word. And if a guy can't respect a simple request like that, what does it say about his ability to show basic empathy and respect later on? So this is the question I want you to take with you. Forget about what's technically correct or what other people think. How does this person's language make you feel? Do you feel respected? Do you feel seen? Or do you feel kind of small or dismissed or misunderstood? You have to trust that feeling. And that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important point of all. Sometimes a deal breaker doesn't make logical sense on paper. It's just a feeling, a gut instinct. And I need you to hear this. That feeling, it's not just valid. It's probably your most powerful tool. And look, your reason can be literally anything. Maybe you're just not vibing with someone who is super into their zodiac sign. Maybe you've realized you keep dating the same type, like the light-skinned guys with the dreads. and you know you need to break that pattern. Or maybe you just walk away from a date feeling confused and uncertain about where they stand. Whatever the reason is, if it's your reason, it's valid, period. And this is what I really want you to hear. You do not have to justify your deal breakers to anyone, not your friends, not your mom, and definitely not the person you're on a date with. Your feelings are not on trial. They don't need a defense attorney. So let's end on this. This is the single most important thing to remember. If something feels off, it's off for you. That voice in your head, that little nudge in your gut, it's there for a reason. It's your intuition, and it's trying to protect you. So please, listen to it. Your feelings are always, always reason enough.